Welcome to the History Flames channel. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this one. This photograph reflects the harsh reality and irony of war. The grenade with the phrase "Have a nice day" written on it is a stark reminder of the tragic and deadly nature of conflict. Such humorous phrases were often used by soldiers to boost morale, even in life-and-death situations. This image symbolizes the destruction brought by war and how it impacts human psychology. This photograph was taken during the Vietnam War in 1969. The large bullet hole in the soldier's helmet indicates that he narrowly escaped death. The date written on the helmet symbolizes that this moment is an unforgettable memory. The dangers of war and the reality that death could come at any moment are vividly portrayed in this image. This moment serves as a powerful reminder that the soldier was given a second chance at life. This photograph was taken during World War II and symbolizes the hatred and determination of Soviet soldiers against Hitler. The bombs have the words "to Hitler" written in Russian. The soldiers shake hands, showing their trust and support for each other as they head into battle. This image reflects how important morale and unity were during the war and how shared anger against the enemy became a unifying force. This photograph shows Jewish children who survived the Auschwitz concentration camp. During the Holocaust, orchestrated by Nazi Germany, millions of people were imprisoned, tortured, and killed in such camps. The expressions on the children's faces bear the marks of the horrific experiences they endured. This image serves as a poignant reminder of the painful realities of the Holocaust, one of the darkest chapters in human history. This photograph, taken during World War II, shows gas masks used for both humans and animals. The soldier is seen fitting a gas mask on his horse to protect it from chemical attacks during the war. The brutality of war affected not only humans, but also animals. This image serves as a striking reminder of the threat and fear that war imposed on all living beings. This photograph highlights the absurdity of war and the soldiers' effort to find humor even under harsh conditions. German soldiers are seen in a trench, laughing as they point to a bullet hole in a dead soldier's helmet. This image illustrates how soldiers tried to cope with the horrors of war by finding humor in inhumane situations, while also serving as a reminder of how tragic and devastating war can be. This photograph shows the identification photos of children who were victims of the inhumane experiments conducted by Nazi Germany during World War II. The expressions on the children's faces reflect the horrific experiences and suffering they endured. The Nazi regime used these children for genetic research and medical experiments, marking one of the greatest tragedies in human history. This image remains an unforgettable reminder of the terrible cruelty inflicted on innocent children. This photograph was taken during the Great Depression in the 1930s in the United States. The long bread line represents the millions of people struggling with poverty and unemployment caused by the economic crisis. In this period of intense desperation and hopelessness, people had to wait for hours to meet their basic needs. This image is recognized as one of the symbols of one of the most challenging economic periods in history. This photograph was taken in an orphanage in the mid-20th century. The children sit in line, seemingly waiting for something. Images like this highlight the overcrowded orphanages and the loneliness many children experienced after the war. The staff members' movements emphasize the importance of discipline and order. These children may have spent their early years in uncertainty and a lack of affection. This photograph captures an unexpected moment at a train station, taken during a certain period in history. A woman with her suitcases in hand is about to board the train when a man suddenly pours water on her. This moment is recorded as an example of small but shocking incidents encountered in everyday life. The image reveals the unpredictable and sometimes incomprehensible nature of human behavior. This photograph shows Annie Edson Taylor in the barrel she used to go over Niagara Falls. On October 24, 1901, at the age of 63, Annie became the first person to successfully survive the dangerous feat of going over Niagara Falls in a barrel. Taylor etched her name in history with her courage and determination, undertaking this incredible feat to finance her retirement. This image remains a symbol of human bravery and the drive to push one's limits. This photograph, taken during World War I, shows medical personnel and a trained medic dog serving in the war. The medical staff were responsible for rescuing wounded soldiers from the battlefield and providing them with first aid. The dogs were used to find the injured and carry medical supplies. This image reflects the critical role that the collaboration between humans and animals played in saving lives, even under the harsh conditions of war. This photograph shows an execution scene in the early 1900s in French colonial Vietnam. The guillotine was used by the French colonial administration as a method of punishment. The man in the photo is positioned for execution by the guillotine. This image reveals the harsh and cruel practices of the time, while also serving as a reminder of the dark side of colonial history. This photograph captures a moment where a pilot is posing in front of a warplane. The pilot, dressed in the flight gear of the era, stands confidently and proudly beside the aircraft. This image belongs to the early days of aviation history, symbolizing the bravery of pilots and their resilience in facing the harsh conditions of war. The photograph also serves as a reminder that this young pilot was one of the thousands of aviators risking their lives in the skies during the war. This photograph is from the Prohibition era in 1920s America. Police conducted raids to find and destroy illegally produced alcoholic beverages. In this image, the moment shows officers inspecting barrels in search of illicit alcohol. With their heads buried in the barrels, these officers highlight the strict and controversial measures of the time. This photograph shows children playing amidst the ruins after World War II. These children have climbed onto an abandoned tank, trying to experience their childhood in the middle of the devastation brought by the war. In front of the destroyed buildings, this tank, once a deadly war machine, has now become a playground for them. This image vividly reflects how war affects the innocent and how life continues despite the circumstances. This photograph shows an entertainment event during World War II. A group of soldiers is posing with a woman, likely a stage performer or actress, offering a brief respite from the harsh conditions of war. Such events were organized to boost soldiers' morale and provide a break from the stresses of war. The woman appears to have brought a momentary smile to the faces of the soldiers surrounding her. The image reflects how human connections and joy persisted even in the midst of war. This photograph shows three women who survived the Auschwitz concentration camp. The tattooed numbers on their arms were identification marks given by Nazi Germany to Jewish prisoners. These numbers symbolize a brutal system where their identities were erased, and they were seen as mere numbers. Though these women survived, the tattoos remain as permanent marks of the horrific experiences they endured, representing one of the darkest periods in human history. This photograph, taken during World War II, shows a German military cameraman operating an Arriflex film camera. Such cameramen were responsible for capturing footage for wartime propaganda, documenting scenes from various fronts of the war for use by governments. The image serves as a reminder that war was not only fought on the battlefield, but was also a war of information and propaganda. This photograph captures a moment from the forced migrations that occurred after World War I. This woman and children are likely being taken from their homeland to an unknown destination. The little food in their hands and the thin clothing they wear are clear indicators of the hardship and uncertainty they face. This image remains an unforgettable reminder of the devastation of war and the helplessness experienced by those affected. This photograph reflects a scene from the colonial era in Africa. Bare-chested African youths are lined up, overseen by a colonial officer standing in front of them. This image symbolizes the oppressive nature of colonialism and the cruelty faced by the indigenous people. The stern gaze of the officer and the submissive posture of the youths reveal the harsh realities of that era. This photograph represents a humorous example of wartime propaganda during World War II. A dog is shown urinating on a helmet marked with the swastika, the symbol of Nazi Germany. Next to it is a sign reading Hitler War Fund. This image expresses hatred towards the Nazi regime and resistance to the war in a mocking tone. As part of wartime propaganda, it serves as a powerful symbol aimed at belittling the enemy. This photograph, taken during the Vietnam War, reflects the mindset of an American soldier in the midst of the conflict. The soldier, lighting a cigarette, stands on a vehicle with the phrase, "God is my shotgun," written on it. This statement shows how the soldier combines his lethal power with his faith during the war. The image ironically highlights the brutality of war and the ways in which soldiers adapted to it. This photograph shows a group of Jews being deported to concentration camps during World War II by Nazi Germany. On a cold winter day, These people are being led along the train tracks toward death camps. The fear and uncertainty on their faces serve as a reminder of one of the darkest periods in history. This image is recognized as one of the symbols of the Holocaust, one of the greatest tragedies in human history. This photograph shows a woman gathering and caring for stray dogs. The woman is posing with a group of dogs gathered around and placed in a cart labeled "Stray Dogs." This indicates that she is collecting these animals, providing them care, and perhaps trying to find them a home. This image is a poignant scene reflecting compassion for animals and the importance of helping creatures in need. This photograph, taken during World War II, shows a female pilot boarding an aircraft. Reflecting the roles women played in the war and their achievements in aviation, this image has become a symbol of the brave women who defied societal norms. This pilot earned an important place in aviation history with her determination and skill, despite the harsh conditions of the war. The photograph is a powerful reminder that women can excel and achieve success in any field. This photograph shows military motorcycles used during World War II. German soldiers are ready for combat, equipped with machine guns mounted on the motorcycle. These types of motorcycles were especially used in reconnaissance and attack operations due to their speed and flexibility. The image reflects the dynamics of war, relying on speed and technology, highlighting the strategic importance of soldiers on the battlefield. This photograph, taken during the Vietnam War, reveals the innocent victims of war. In the foreground, a young girl stands with a look of fear and confusion, while a soldier looms in the background. The child's expression symbolizes the cruelty of war and the trauma experienced by the innocent. This image is a powerful document reflecting the devastating effects of war and the losses endured by the innocent. This photograph features a pioneering female pilot. Women entering the field of aviation was a defiance of societal norms, and this brave woman was one of those trailblazers. Posing proudly in front of the aircraft, this pilot became an inspiration for her skill and courage. This image is recognized as a powerful symbol that women can excel and achieve success in any field. This photograph shows children playing amidst the ruins in post-World War II Europe. These children, trying to have fun with their limited resources, maintain the innocence of their childhood despite the devastation and hardships brought by the war. The simple tub they are in has become a boat for them. This image is a poignant scene reflecting the impact of war on children's lives and their creative playfulness